Hey guys, told you I'd be back. Scary, huh? That's kidding. Hey, anyway, we're gonna get ready to leave. We got to get out of here. There's gonna be some more storms coming in, and it's gonna start icing up. It'll be a hell of a hard to get the hell out of here. Anyway, hey, look at here. There's something that I never got a chance to explain, and that was I'm gonna tell you the exact scenario that went down when we found our big clump of squatch hair, okay? Because where we found it at is you're looking at it. It was right here, all right? Now, in this area here, remember I told you that we know of quite, a few groups of squatches that live in the area. Well, this is one of the groups. They live back in there. We were feeding them back there for 2 straight years. Anyway, this was the same hair that we when we were doing National Geographic, and we donated some hair samples to the Bigfoot Files for DNA testing. Okay, now what I'm about to explain to you, it's never been explained because I never had a chance. Okay, they claimed that the test came back it was bear. Okay, it wasn't bear, and I'm going to tell you why. So pay attention and follow me real closely. What you see right here, it's pretty much well nice clean snow. It's exactly how it was 3 years ago. We found this hair, well, let's see, 3 years ago. 2.5 to 3 years ago is when we found the hair. We did National Geographic in 2013. It was a big clump of it. Fit in the palm of my hand. Big clump of it. And it was right up here. It was on the second wire. Now, as you can tell, if you leave a track here, you're going to see it. Like this. There you go. If I put a hand on it, there you go. That day, when we came up this mountain road, we were backtracking from our one of our bait areas back here. We hike in a couple miles. That day, it was just like this. I believe it was in February, first week of February. We were coming when we first went down here. There was nothing here. This fence line was clean. When we came back up, there's this big clump of hair hanging right up here. Okay, now they said it was bear. Bullshit. I'm telling you that right now. Bullshit. There was not one single bear track. Okay, not nowhere in the vicinity. None whatsoever. And not only that, when we approached the hair, I was just a couple feet from it. You could smell it. Very pungent. That's a definite squatch. At that same moment, when we found the hair, I went up to investigate the hair. There was a little bit of blood that the barb caught the hair. I couldn't get enough off of it for anything. The hair, about 2 to 2.5 inches of the hair was really wadded up into the barb. I had to cut the hair away, so I lost about 2.5 inches of the hair length. The average hair length that came out of that hair was 5 to 6 inches. Now add the 2.5 inches missing. Now here's how it went down. As we were cutting the hair, I had to cut the hair away from the barb, okay? Uncontaminated. This, as a matter of fact, one thing was said by Brian, it was the freshest, uncontaminated sample that was given. Keep that in mind. Now, at the same time, from right across over there, way up there in that tree line, there was a squatch that was back there. We could smell him. Am I correct or not, G?
Yes, we did. She was stinking.
It was stinking bad. I mean, really bad. And it wasn't leaving. It just was sitting there, and we knew it was just staring us down. This is probably what happened. I know they came across over here, ran across the road, came here. When it heard us down in here, These guys got ears like you can't believe. I'm not kidding you. You can't just surprise them, or not going to jump them. Anyway, what I believe happened, it came through here, and when it heard us, it panicked, and it hurdled the fence. When it hurdled the fence, its inner thigh got stuck in the barb in the middle one.
The fence is really hard to see from here.
Right.
To walk up.
So, and it went over there in that direction. It was right over there watching us. As a matter of fact, the situation it got to a point it wasn't looking too good. You know, I mean, we had to leave the area. This thing was pissed off, probably because it took a pretty good whack of its hair out. Now, that being said, I waited 2 years. And of course, you know, I don't know how you say it. All the bull I went through with Meldrum. We'll just leave it as that. I don't want to talk about it no more. Because you know he got some samples from me too. I went and took that hair, that big clump of hair, which I did show you. It's on one of my videos. That is real Squatch hair. That ain't no other animal. That's Squatch. It's unknown. But I'm gonna tell you something. 2 years later, and I'm going back probably about, what was that, Garden? About maybe 6 months ago? No. Yeah, about 6-8 months ago. I made an appointment with a hair expert, and I took that hair to him in the frame. You know what he told me? He said this. He said he'd never seen any hair like this at all in the Sierra Nevadas, any known animal. And this guy's particularly an expert on bear. He went on to say, he asked us, he says, where did you find this? And I says, up in the Sierras. He looked at it again. He kind of looked at me and he went kind of slack jaw. Okay. And I asked him, I says, what's up, something wrong? And he says, what you guys got here, he said, in my opinion, in his expert opinion, he says, what you got here is primate. And that's coming from a hair expert. That hair that I showed everybody, that's primate. That is your real Squatch. That ain't no joke. And that's why I know that something, I don't know, I didn't trust that test. Because there's no way in hell, Jose, it could have came from a bear. How can that be? I just told you the scenario how we found it. I just told you we seen a hair expert. He confirmed it was primate. And the reason why he says he knows it was primate, because he also spent time in Africa. And he said he had seen the exact same hair on some primates in Africa. Grasp on that one. Look at here. There's not going to be too many people around anymore that's going to be doing any DNA testing. You know, let's just be, I'm just being honest with you about it, all right? Too many people out there has made this a joke. Too much entertainment, too much bull crap. And, you know, and we being Garland, we can go along with the entertainment, hell, you know. Even when I'm producing my DVDs now, I get a little rambunctious in there. Get you to laugh here and there. It's fine and cool. But one thing I won't do, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hoax you. I'm not going to put something up there that's not real. I'm not going to give you any false information, nor am I going to give any false evidence. What I am going to give you is 100% plus the honest truth. And what I just explained to you is the honest truth, straight up. I mean, if I'm pumping you full of bull, believe you me, Garland would be the first to say that. Oh, come on, Dan, that ain't true. Everything I say, Garland, is this correct? Hello?
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm seeing something behind you moving. I'm listening, but at the same time I'm watching.
I'm gonna step aside. I'll just talk. Let it just keep going if you catch something. I'll just keep talking while you're doing that. So, anyway, now you got the real story. That's never been told to nobody. Like I said, we've never had a chance to explain anything. That is how we came across the hair. All right. I'm going to tell you something else too. It just doesn't grow on trees, and it's not that easy to find. And you have to know what the hell you're looking for. All right. So that was the scenario on that, and I got that big clump of hair sitting in my trophy case. It ain't going nowhere. So, but the sad part about it is, because without the DNA test, they're not going to do anything. Look, they're not going to put it in the books, all right, until that really gets done. The only thing I could really do for the whole Bigfoot thing is what I'm doing now. Actually applying some science to it. Actually trying to find out what this really is, where it came from, how it got here, and the biggest question: is it real? Well, like I said, if Homo erectus is real, and he was, bet your bottom dollar Sasquatch is as real as you and me. Besides, you explain to me, and it's like the hair expert asked me, where the hell does primate hair come and get into the Sierra Nevadas? Think about that one. And what I just told you, straight up the truth. That is what happened. That is why, now you know why sometimes I get really irated, like when I got pissed off at Meldrum, when I get upset and I get pissed off at certain these arrogant SOBs in the science world, okay? Now those are the kind that piss me off. They got no common sense. You know what? I don't care if you got a PhD. That don't give you common sense. They don't give out PhDs in common sense. Meldrum got a PhD in what he does? Well, let me tell you something. That's okay. I got a PhD in what I do. How you like that? Anyway. This is sorry, thought I heard something. So, these guys, I decided that someone should take the initiative and figure out who these guys are. Well, now I know. Now I know. I think that's pretty damn exciting. Because now we finally know what the hell he is. Look it, I know there's gonna be other probably so-called researchers. They're gonna think, hey dude, you're nuts. You wanna know something? No way. I'm as sane as anybody else. Of course, you know, but when I was in the Army, especially going through special ops training, they did say you had to have some kind of a screw loose to do that kind of a job. That's a different type of screw loose. This here, I know what I'm doing, people. Garland knows what he's doing too. We both do.
Oh yeah, experience.
So, I know what we're dealing with now. Now you know. And like I said, when you got two different entities, but have the exact same lifestyle, that's unheard of. The exact same. It's like all of its traits, everything that Erectus does and that Squatch does, it's like it was handed down. That info was handed down. Generation to generation. Humans, we do the same thing, right? Your dad might know an old fishing trick. Your dad might, or grandpa might know an old hunting trick. And he's going to pass that on. And that gets passed down. You follow what I'm saying? It's the same principle. So, now that we know what we're dealing with, makes my job easier, Garland's easier. Now we got a whole new plan. And I'm gonna tell you what, folks. I got a feeling 2016 is gonna be one hell of a year for Team Us and Bigfoot. So, anyway, I'm gonna get ready to let you go. I'm glad I got to tell you that story, okay? Because the story is the truth. You know, everybody always assumes, and then with assumption, you know, there's things kicked in here, kicked in there, everything gets all twisted, and next thing you know, it's all a bunch of bull, okay? You get you get everything but the truth itself. So, why not hear it from the horse's mouth, right? So you did. And that's exactly how everything went down. Exactly like I told you. So, with that said in mind, you have no choice at this point. You have to say these are real. It's undeniable. They cannot be denied anymore. Yeah. They deserve the full recognition. They deserve it, very much so. And could you imagine, what if, just what if some, or say a few of Homo erectus survived? What do you think about that one? Think about that one. Because you see, I'm the kind of guy, nothing's impossible. Nothing. You remember that. That's why I like to progress forward. I don't let nothing hold me back. So what I'm going to do is all the info I got now, I'm going to apply it, and we're going to see actually how close Squatchy is to Erectus. We're going to find out. Because I'm going to tell you what. We know they build shelters. And so did Homo erectus. Funny thing about it, Homo erectus lived in caves and lived in above the ground. You know, near waterways. And funny thing about it, Squatch does the exact same thing. Identical. Everything's identical. This is brilliant. Now check this one out. People ask from time to time, why, how come they never find a dead body of a Bigfoot? Bones. Something. And it's like this. And they say, well, maybe some people believe, they bury their dead. No, they don't. No, they don't. Think they wander around the woods with a shovel and a tombstone? Come on, people. Look at here. Homo erectus never performed any kind of burial rituals, nor did they bury their dead. How do we know that? Archaeologists. They have found only a few sites with the erectus bones, okay? That's how they know they existed. They also know he used tools. Funny thing too, Sasquatch uses tools too. The exact same ones, rock and stone. Rock and stone. So Erectus didn't bury their dead and they didn't have any rituals, okay? And that's why it's hard, almost impossible, to find any of their bones.